Why does this exist? Join me and my cohorts, Mika and Ruby. They're here for moral support. Now on to Napoleon. If you're unfamiliar, Napoleon Dynamite is a 2004 comedy that gained cult status upon its release. It's most known for its awkward humor, very simple cinematography, and yeah, there's literally no plot. Most of the budget went to licensing songs and they broke well over even, and yeah, most of the sales went to ticket sales and home media buys. I know of its existence mainly because we had it on DVD and my brother would watch it almost daily. Of course my dumb child brain laughed at it because even then I would unironically laugh at YouTube poop, so.
Isn't that right? Huh? Isn't that right?
Yeah, the bar wasn't very high. Going back to it these days is very eye-opening, even light bulb inducing. See, humor these days is a complicated bag of nonsensical, almost super meta form of art that could literally just be a man flexing and it's the funniest thing on earth. Because, you know, people these days have attention spans of hopped up flies on caffeine and PCP. But what does any of this have to do with Napoleon? Everything. Not only is this movie way ahead of its time, it's still very culturally relevant to this day. Everybody and their mothers have done the Napoleon dance. As a matter of fact, many memes and sound bites you might not even expect come from this movie.
Okay, do it again. Do it again.
The core humor of the entire movie, from the long awkward pauses very random moments, constant sarcasm and irony laced throughout.
Trying to earn money for college.
Your mom goes to college.
This is honestly basically just how some people communicate in real life these days. And beyond just all the sarcasm and all that, still one of my favorite scenes is where he just decides to throw an action figure outside the bus. And I've always wanted to replicate it. I don't have a bus though. But I have a dog. This movie's stupid. And I love it so dearly. And not just because I used to look like the guy. Dark times. But this movie holds arguably the greatest character in fiction, Uncle Rico. While obviously Napoleon, Kip, Pedro, Deb, and even the smuggest face in the world, Don, are all great characters who were perfectly casted for this movie, they're just not built like Uncle Rico. He is a different breed. Mister, how much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains? His entire character is him not letting go of the fact that he could have been a big football star if he, didn't flub the big game. And of course, due to the fact that, Coach didn't let him in the fourth. Damn. He's literally old heads at the wreck that say, I could have been on the Lakers if my knees weren't shot. Mans is so stuck in the past, he buys a time machine from the internet. And it clearly doesn't work. He resorts to get-rich-quick schemes and sells Tupperware house to house.
Don't hurt yourself.
Which not only leads to him selling out his own nephew, but himself. Now, beyond the individual scenes themselves, the making of, the behind-the-scenes footage, the backstory, everything surrounding this movie is so interesting because it should not work. Not to mention, the outfits in this movie are insane, and here's my drip tier list. Kip went kind of crazy. Speaking of Kip, during his wedding scene, yeah, shout out to the most sane man in this movie. It's unapologetic, 100% itself, and there's no glitz or glamour to cover anything up, and to be frank, it's just stupidly funny. If you can't find something to laugh at from this movie, then you're a freaking idiot. Or maybe your humor is just broken. Or not broken enough. Somewhere in between that. And due to that fact of this being loved and unanimously praised, it really is lightning in a bottle. And no, the animation doesn't count. Which, by the way, I think is overhated, but it's just not Napoleon Dynamite. The reason it works is because of the live action and the actors and the set pieces. I don't think animation was the right, proper continuation for it, but I don't hate the cartoon, to be honest. Now, like always, time to cross it off the list. My takeaway from this film is nothing you do will please everyone. So why not just make something for yourself? That's what the creators of this movie did, and I think it worked out. Yeah, this is the outro. Yeah, thanks for watching, and any last words? Good to hear.